everybody, and welcome to another episode of Lolligaggers Legends. I'm Bill Griffith.
And I'm Jim Randison.
Let's take a look at our lineup for the blue team. We have Yorick top, Yi jungle, Talon middle, Callista ADC, and Karma support.
And on the red side, we have Teemo top, Jax jungle, Zed middle, Caitlyn ADC, and Lux as the support bottom. This looks like a very nice matchup here.
That's right, Jim. But who would you give the edge to in the early game?
Well, it's a very difficult thing to call right off the bat because the teams are so evenly matched. In the top lane, I might give the edge to Yorick just because of the amount of units he can produce, where Teemo can make those mushrooms pretty well, but with Yorick's ability to regenerate, it can be very difficult to fight him. Where, Teemo, all he can do is run and hide.
Oh, looks like a scared little squirrel then, I guess.
Right you are there, Jim.
You're Jim.
Oh, sorry, Bill. I've been a little preoccupied today.
Well, what do you mean there, Jim? Let us all hear it. We're all family. I mean, you guys heard me fucking break down 2 weeks ago, and I'm still here. I poisoned a guy last week. You heard that. You were there.
Oh, well, I guess you're right, Bill. Well, I met my girlfriend's parents a few weeks ago. I asked you for advice just before that whole big thing. Jax got the blue buff, by the way.
Oh yeah, how did that go? Sorry I forgot to ask you a couple weeks ago with my mental breakdown.
Oh, it's no big deal. Well, I took your advice. I met the parents. Mom and Dad were very nice, and I acted like myself. I'm not too aggressive as a person. I told them that this was my job, and the mom seemed okay with it. She was very friendly, asking questions. The dad. No, not so much.
Oh, what was the problem there, Jim?
Well, he asked me what my real job was just after. So, he laughed. He was like, oh, that's a good joke. Really, what's your real job? And I told him, no, I'm a caster for Lolligaggers Legends. And he immediately asked me how much I made, which I thought was a little bit personal.
Well, you can't blame the guy. You're the one spending his daughter's life with him. By the way, bottom lane just got their Callista's ass whipped. Got a little bit too close to the Caitlyn Lux combination. Needs to be very careful about the CC and burst potential of that combo.
Right you are, Bill. Good call.
So back to it.
Oh, right, yeah. That's okay. I understand it for that much, but that was just a little bit. He was just being a little bit of a curmudgeon.
Yeah, but that's kind of dads for you.
I guess. Did you ever meet Margaret's parents?
Oh, fuck no. No, not at all. I was about to. I introduced her to my family like you would because I cared about her. But when she brought up the idea of meeting her parents, for whatever reason, call this intuition, call this dumb luck, all I was thinking was, if she's the best in her family, I hope I never meet them.
Oh, and that wasn't a red flag?
Well, you know what? When you're getting ass left and right, you can kind of look past a few things I found out.
Oh. Well, I guess that's a way to view it.
Thank you there, Jim. Glad to have your approval.
Well, I wasn't really approving. I just kind of...
Oh, no, say no more. Moving back to your story. The rest of the story there, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Then after that, we pushed past the Legends, the job debacle. We pushed past all that, and we were doing just fine until it was time to go. We were cleaning up. We had leftovers, and I was asking if they could go get a doggy bag, 'cause I don't like to waste food or anything. And her dad insisted that I took all the food home. Now, I didn't want to be rude since they paid for it, he offered. I didn't want to be rude about that. But, I didn't want to take all of it. I mean, I could split it up and everything, but they were really insisting that I took all of the food. So I don't think they really approve of my job.
Well, it's not really their place to approve of you. Whether they do or not, they're going to have their opinion there, Jim. But in the end, if their daughter, your girlfriend, likes you the way you are, fuck their opinion.
Oh, well, I guess that's a way to look at it, Bill.
Thanks there, Jim. Just trying to lend a helping hand.
Oh, thank you very much. By the way, meanwhile, in middle, Talon is pushing Zed under tower. Zed does not have his ultimate yet. Needs to be very careful because this Talon can vamp right behind him, use his ultimate, and it's lights out.
Oh, that's some great commentary from Jim right there.
Thanks, everybody. I'm trying my best. Now here comes the Yi from the river with his karma coming down. The ADC support combo from the red has to be very careful because now they're separating Caitlyn from Lux. This could be a pickup. Uh-oh, looks like Caitlyn got away, but it's not all lost because even though they did not get the kill, that map pressure is making Lux and Caitlyn hopefully back off.
That's right, if this Callista can figure out the idea that she doesn't want to catch the light binding with her face.
Good call there, Bill. No, here goes Yi back into it. Looks like he's got a shield from the karma, but there's the binding, and there goes Yi.
Oh no! Looks like he was falling for a little bit of the Yi syndrome.
That's right there, Bill. And for those listening, the Yi syndrome is much like the Lee syndrome, or the Xin Zhao syndrome, where you think because you're pretty good with your champion, and because, of course, he can steamroll very easily, you tend to just run directly into a crowd of people and die instantly.
That's right, it can be quite frustrating. Take it from a person who knows. I was playing Xin Zhao last week, first time trying, and I was getting pretty good, got a few assisted kills, thank you very much. Then I ran into the group of people, my entire team left, and then they proceeded to call me a goddamn nub for the rest of the game. I mean, they were blaming me for everything. All four of them just ran into Baron without me being there, didn't ping, didn't do shit, all died to the opponent's team, and then they shouted at me, even though I had nothing to do with it.
Well, that's just called, I believe it's called griefing now, but when I was coming up, it was just called pure salt. They were on tilt because they were angry their team was losing.
Well, I know, but that's no excuse to take it out on little old me, little old Xin Zhao just sitting there with his spear.
Yeah, but that's kind of how the game goes.
I know, but I mean, how do you counter that?
Well, generally, I just somewhat own up to it, like, oh, sorry, I messed up, but as soon as there's no possible way it could be your fault, I just kind of do what you told me to do about my girlfriend's parents.
Fuck them? How am I gonna fuck them? They're all the way across the world.
No. I mean, just don't worry about their opinion. It's just not gonna help you, and it's not gonna help the team. The entire thing's gonna turn into quicksand after a while.
Oh, yeah, quicksand. Totally get what you mean. But for the fans who don't understand, Jim, could you explain this quicksand analogy?
Well, it's similar to real quicksand, really. You get 1 foot in, you're trying your best, and you make a mistake. And that's no big deal, you're trying to shake that one off. But then you make another, and then the frustration builds. And then the harder you try to fight, the further you go in, just like quicksand in real life.
Oh, Jim, that is that is quite philosophical. Where did you come up with that?
Oh, I didn't come up with it. I think it's a very common sports analogy.
Well, I think they should honor you for like a Nobel Prize for English.
I don't think those exist. Not for English. Maybe for literature or something, but I didn't write anything.
Oh, don't you sell yourself short, buddy. You are on the fast track to the top.
Okay. By the way, Yee's coming around Caitlyn and Lux, who just took out Callista, but Lux was an easy pickin', and now Caitlyn flashed up, but Yee is on her tail, and there's no way for Caitlyn to run. And that's a two for one in the bottom lane. Jax has come around top. He's working on his pathing, which honestly by now he should probably just be supporting his lanes. I understand farm is a good idea, but you know, if you're that far behind, you need to bolster where you can.
Oh, that's quite the strategy right there, Jim.
Thanks, Bill.
Now, if this were your Jax in the jungle, which lane would you be supporting most? Would you support the bottom lane, middle, or top right now? Because top looks like they're in a bit of a bind and they might need some help.
Well, it might sound counterproductive, but even though that lane is behind, it's probably more beneficial in the long run to support a lane that's already winning to get it further ahead.
Oh, why is that?
Well, it makes it more of a threat later down the road. It keeps you somewhat parallel with your opponents. Even though that one lane's losing, there's still a credible threat. Whereas if you're playing all defensively, it's essentially just playing to not lose instead of playing to win.
I see. That sounds like a wonderful strategy. Kind of like a couple weeks ago when I poisoned the jackass sitting here.
Hank?
Yeah! Asshole was after my job, and instead of whining and complaining about it, asking him to leave, I was proactive with that rat poison in his coffee.
Yeah. Kinda, except, you know, you're not killing anybody.
Huh, not killing anybody for real.
Right, that's what I said. It's a video game. You're not supposed to actually kill people.
Oh, really? Oh, I guess I should cancel those packages I was about to send out. Ugh.
Oh, to who?
The team that was being a dick last week. You heard them. You heard me say they were being mean to me for Xin Zhao.
But you're going to send those to the opponent team?
No, the guys on my team. That way they don't muck up my standing there. You know, get them out of the game entirely, permanently, might I add, Jim. That way it cleans out the pool for this particular area. I'm in Bronze 5, but if I start taking out Bronze players in the real world, eventually only the really good ones will be left, and that will lead to my victory. It's the macro game, Jim. Come on, get your head in the game.
Bill?
Yes, Jim.
What the fuck?
What do you mean, Jim?
Why are you talking about murdering people all of a sudden?
It's the logical path. Clearly, I keep getting saddled with players who aren't very good. I am going to take them out. New players are going to come in who are going to be better. And in the long run, the game player amount will become more quality-based versus a bunch of dicks.
Oh. Bill?
Yes, Jim?
Have you ever taken a psychopath test?
Psychopath? What do you mean?
It's okay. I'm going to ask you a question, and just answer to the best of your ability, and it'll tell me whether or not you are a psychopath.
Okay, Jim, fire away.
All right, well, here's a scenario for you. A woman goes to a funeral, and she sees a man, falls madly in love with her. Or she falls madly in love with him. Head over heels, can't turn back, nothing can be done. So, the next week, she murders her sister. Why'd she murder her sister?
Do I have to spell it out to you, Jim? I think this one's easy.
Please, enlighten me, Bill.
Clearly, she wanted to see that guy again.
Can you explain yourself, Bill?
Well, I don't think I have to. I think everybody in the YouTube channel is going to tell you this in a minute. But clearly, she was thinking she saw this guy. That's the X variable. And the Y variable was she saw him at this place, the funeral home. So the problem is, how does she see the guy again? Clearly, she murders somebody because obviously he knew who died. And she knows that if she murders someone else at the funeral, chances are he's going to be at the next one.
Oh, good answer, Bill.
So how'd I do, Jim? Did I get it right?
Yeah, you actually got it right.
Oh boy, that's some good news for me there, isn't it, Jim?
Well, I guess it's not a common thing.
Well, what does that mean exactly?
Well, so you know, out of about 200 people I've asked that question, you are the first person to get it right.
Oh boy, that must be some kind of record.
Sure is, Bill. You may want to see some kind of a psychiatrist or something.
Well, I clearly have this thing figured out. That quiz was easy as pie. So I don't really think I need to, Jim.
All right, Bill, I guess you got your mind made up there.
Damn straight, Jim. Now back to this game we're looking at. Kills, turrets, and gold are completely even across the board. 215 to 215. Gold is tied at 30,000 apiece.
My goodness, this is a very close but very quick game. It's just going to come down to who gets the first big sweeping kills. Now this Caitlyn Jax combo was chasing down the Yi Karma, but he was taken out by the Jax. And now, luckily, Callista came to save the day. And in top lane, this is not looking good. Oh, there went the Callista Karma. You gotta be aware of your map. You gotta have those wards all around.
That's right. My cleansing of the pool isn't looking so bad now, is it, Jim?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Well, they made a mistake. If I were to get rid of, quote unquote, the people who made that mistake, guess what? Mistake will not happen again.
I guess I can't fight that logic.
Well, I accept your apology, Jim, and I look forward to the brownies you cook me.
Brownies?
The apology brownies?
Apology brownies?
You know, the brownies you cook every time you're wrong, Jim.
Oh, I've never heard of those.
Clearly, you aren't as edified as myself, so I will let this one slide. But next time you do this, Jim, I'm going to bake you some disappointed cookies.
Disappointed cookies?
That's right. It's similar to the I'm sorry brownies, except for it's when I'm disappointed in you, I bake you cookies, and there might be a fair amount of rat poison.
Why rat poison?
Well, I bought it in bulk. So I got to get it used up.
I guess that makes sense. Don't want to waste that money.
Now at least you're talking some sense there, Jim. Alright, so it looks like in the middle, the Yee's pushing down this second tower in the middle, which is quite good for their team. Top lane, that Teemo's just sitting there waiting for an ambush. What a lazy little fucking squirrel, am I right?
Right you are, Bill.
Thanks, Jim. Here comes Yorick to even out the fight in the top lane, keeping that pushed in. Yee's running away from Caitlyn and Jax is a very wise decision, but Caitlyn's getting a little bit too far away from this Jax, which is a horrible idea, because that Yee is about to... Oh no! There was the trap, and that was the opposite. They're both very bursty champions. If the Yee had gotten inside the Caitlyn's circle, it would have been the opposite direction, but unfortunately for Yee, she popped down a trap, and he could not resist those cupcakes. Just like the I'm sorry brownies, they are delicious and hard to resist.
Right you are. Those are what Legends calls trap cupcakes.
Is that anything like the honey pot? I've fallen victim to that many a time there, Jim.
Well, it's something kind of like it. I mean, it seems sweet and too good to be true, and then bam, you just get hurt. You get stung and or killed.
Oh, if I had a nickel there, Jim.
Yep, we've all been there, Bill. So anyway, back to my girlfriend's parents. I think we got a little far down a rabbit hole there, Bill.
Oh, it's okay, Jim. When interesting conversations happen, time stands still. Yorick was taken down by that Jax, but he's getting countered by the Karma and Talon combination. In the middle, Zed is pushing the wave, and on bottom, it looks like Karma just got taken down, but oh no, not Karma. Maybe that was Caitlyn with her new skin by the Yee and Callista combination. And this is a great combo here, because Callista, she has an ability to stack up those little spears that she can use all at once for a huge burst of damage if somebody runs away. And at the very beginning, Yee can just, chop them down and burst them like the wonderful assassin he is.
Yes, but unfortunately, it looks like the red team's support disconnected.
It's more like she ran away there, Jim. I'm just saying. One batch of disappointment cookies and this problem solved.
I think they just disconnected.
Okay, if you can trust a stranger to be honest.
Honest about what?
She ran away. She's disconnected. She's asking me to trust that her disconnection was honest. I do not.
Oh. Well, back to the game, I guess, Bill. The Yee and Callista are chopping into their base. Yee is overstaying his welcome. He's about to get killed and transfer those buffs onto the Teemo. He'll say thank you for that, while Callista gets out. But the inhibitor is destroyed, so that damage is done. The middle blue wave is pushing into the red base a little bit, kind of distracting, but it's something. Meanwhile, Yorick top took out the second lane turret for the red side, but he needs to pay attention and understand when his welcome has been overstayed, but he's proving to be a wonderful addition in the split pushing game.
That's right. This game is not going a traditional 4-1 split push. It's going a 1-3-1 with one person in top and bottom and three holding off the middle.
That's right. It's actually quite effective in lower ranks because folks just simply don't have the skill to deal with it. But now it looks like Talon, Yorick, and Karma are gathering top lane, while Callista and Yee are teaming up on this Zed, this poor Zed.
He's about to learn where the wild goose goes, if you ask me.
That's right. ye just killed him, but not before taking out the Callista, which would seem like an even trade, but unfortunately, since the blue team is knocking on their door, the blue side can afford to lose a few people here and there, but the red side cannot. They have no time for that. And on top of that, with that Lux disconnecting...
You mean running away?
Okay, running away. Then that just makes his death even more valuable.
Unfortunately for them, this will be the third inhibitor down, which means super minions are going to flood into the base, and whether or not the blue team is there, it looks like this is about going to be the ball game for the blue side.
Good calling there, Bill.
Thank you.
You know what, Bill? You might seem a little bit erratic. You might seem a little bit unstable sometimes.
Hey, no offense taken. Can't be offended by the truth.
Oh, Bill. Anywho, but I mean, you only started playing about a month or so ago, and you already know all these strategies and all these characters so well. I'm just impressed by the way you're learning this.
Why, thank you, Jim. But it makes it easy when you have a co-host like yourself.
Why, thank you. It's so nice to be appreciated.
Well, you know what? I like giving credit where it's due.
Why, thank you. I'm just so touched.
Well, it's okay there, Jim. Sometimes you just gotta feel what you feel.
Thank you. Now, the Baron was just taken by the blue side, and it looks like whether or not they had that Baron, the super minions are walking straight into this base. Teemo is not enough to take it all out by himself. Lux is trying to come back. She reconnected, trying to defend against the Callista, but to no avail. And now with this just cloud of super minions, Baron empowered super minions, and the Callista combo, I don't think this is going to be looking too good for the red side. Callisto took a dive, but Yorick is in there, and he has Baron buff too. All he has to do is stand there, and that's the game for the blue side.
Oh, looks like it's an unfortunate game for the red.
That's right, Bill.
It sounds like I'm going to be making a bunch of disappointment cookies this weekend. Let me just get the screenshot. And there we go. Look forward to those cookies in the mail, fellas.
All right, Bill. Well, I guess that's it for Lolligaggers Legends. I'm Jim Randison.
And I'm Bill Griffith.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.